new fact about where this fight started, who started it, who was supposed to be in that section of the school, like who was in the right, who's in the wrong, just new facts.
I think for me, the first part about it for me is about the bail. Reducing the bail, I think, is important. And this is a reminder to black people especially. I'll say even just activists and social justice-minded people, but also black people. Bail is not a punishment. A lot of times we root for the people we don't like to get high bails. Like when a cop, somebody like, give him $10 million bail, give him $50 million bail. The point of bail is not to be a punishment. You're innocent until proven guilty. And for every killer cop that gets an exorbitant bail, for every white racist that gets an exorbitant bail, thousands of our children get bails that are so high that we can't get out. 80% of people in jail around America are there not because of any threat to safety, not because of any mental illness issue, not because of bureaucratic issue. 80% of the people in jails around this country are there because they don't have enough money for bail. I'm not talking about prison, I'm talking about jail. This is before trial, before you've been convicted. That means 80% of the people who are in jail are there because they're too poor to not be in jail.
It's the Khalif Browder, right?
The Khalif Browder is a perfect example. They're literally too poor to not be in jail. And that is a crisis. So the next time y'all root for the cop that kills somebody or the crazy person that does some awful to get to just get roof for bail, understand that same thing is going to happen to your children or somebody like Karmelo Anthony, who, from what I see, was dealing with something that's far more complicated than what the initial news story and the initial police reports were saying.
Yeah. So let me ask you, I disagree with Marc's point.
Which point?
The judges do use bail as punishment.
I'm saying they shouldn't.
But you said it's not being issued as punishment.
No, I'm saying bail is not a punishment. I'm saying
theoretically.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
No, bail, judges use all the time.
They definitely use that shit as punishment. We've seen same judge, same court, same this, same that, same charge, and one person's bail will be $1 million, somebody else's bail will be $100,000.
I told you they gave my brother $1 million.
You get what I'm saying? But your brother got it. But what I'm saying,
not that brother.
I'm joking. But so we've definitely seen that used as punishment, and I think that
against us,
Puff ain't no, well, it could be a flight risk, but you get what I'm saying? Like, some of that shit is a little crazy.
And here's the other thing. Statistics show that an exorbitant bail doesn't really make people more likely to come back to court. You get what I'm saying? So it doesn't even work for the thing they say it's for. They're like, oh, if we just if you owe this much, you'll definitely come back to court. People who don't come to court don't come to court.
They're not coming to court.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right, so that's the bail aside. Like,
the other piece of it is I think, again, there's always a rush to judgment, and I get social media has an impulse, and even news reports now. There was a time when there were only 3 news channels. You had time to work a story and develop a story and get the facts on a story. Now the goal is not to get the story right, it's to get the story first.
And sell it.
Yeah, and getting the story first almost always happens at the detriment of the victims. And in this case, the victim might be Karmelo. So I'm not saying just the person who gets, but I'm saying whoever is being wronged, the less information we have, the more easy it is for them to fly under the radar. So I think, again, this is just a reminder, as Joe was saying, every week new facts come out, and those new facts make this a whole different story than what people thought it was initially. That's all.
So what was the initial perception?
That this black kid killed this white kid because he asked him to move. He didn't belong under in that area section, that he was in, that section that he was sitting in, and basically that he was being a bully. Then when the black kid being the bully,
that was the initial,
that the black kid was just being a hooligan.
And now,
because all the story was is black kid, white kid in Texas,
white boy,
and in Texas, that's all the fucking
we in Texas. So as the details continued to come out, it was like, okay, he wasn't a bully. Oh shit, it wasn't just the white boy; it was the white boy and his brother. Oh shit, these guys are 6 how tall as well. Oh shit. He wasn't supposed to be right there, and that's what I mean. Facts just keep coming. I wanted to report on this weeks ago, but too many facts were coming out, so I'm like, let me slow down here.
To be irresponsible.
Gotcha. But it's Texas. The story basically is just about a black man's right to defend himself in Texas,
right? Which doesn't exist, right? Texas and Florida love
the stand your ground.
They love castle doctrine, all that. Yep, until you're black. Yep.
So you black and the victim is white.
Yep.
That's crazy.
They were showing like Karmelo Anthony with like pictures with stuff like that, and then people came out and showed the brothers with guns, stuff like that.
Yeah, but Texas is
Texas.
Exactly.
Texas. They were trying to just paint him as some sort of bad character,
and that's what the media does. Bro. The media will
shout out to the people that came forward,
and shout out to the young man that lost his life as well.
Of course,
right? Like that's important as they clear up the facts of the matter.
Yes.
Oh, Marc don't give
I mean, it depends on what he did. I need more information to know if I'm shouting about.
Okay, Mark, easy.
If you instigate a fight that leads to a death sequence, I'm not necessarily feeling sorry for you.
But what if it was the other way around?
But we don't know that just yet. So
That's what I said. I need more information to make a decision about how I feel about him.
What if it was the other way around?
What do you mean?
What if the black kid got killed by the white kid? Would you feel the same?
And the black kid like jumped him or started?
We don't know at the moment.
Again, I'm not saying they did that. I'm saying I need more information to make a judgment on how I feel about that death. That's all I'm saying. If somebody stuck you up and you shot them, am I supposed to feel bad about the person trying to stick you up?
Yeah, you be confusing me.
I don't know the story. I'm saying I don't know what really happened, so I'm not one of the people to be like, rest in peace to everybody involved. I believe in violence. I don't believe in non-violence.
It comes to women.
Okay, no, we getting somewhere now. All right, I believe in violence.
I believe in violence, right? I don't believe in peace is the ultimate answer to everything. I don't believe in non-violence as an overarching philosophy.
Malcolm X.
Well, let me land with what I was trying to say first.
Sorry.
I was trying to say, well, I'm going to say rest in peace to the young man, because I never want to see a life lost,
Especially
no matter what happens. Especially a child. As a dad, so I want to start with rest in peace to the young man. But why you may see some black people feeling better about this than we normally do when these stories break is because they typically have a really sorry ending, fatal ending for the black person involved.
True. That's a fact.
Like two things could be true.
And
I think a lot of people were really just happy. Go ahead.
The Joe Budden Podcast is one of those shows where you already know what kind of ride you're in for before you even press play. It's raw, unfiltered, off the cuff, sometimes way off the cuff. Joe's gonna say what Joe wants to say, and whether it makes sense or sounds completely out of pocket, you can't help but listen. It's part of the charm. Now look, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I agree with Joe all the time. Because I don't. Sometimes he starts going down a path and I'm sitting there like, yo, how did we even get here? He'll double down on a take that makes no sense to me, and somehow spin it like it's gospel. It's frustrating, hilarious, and impressive all at once. But that's the thing about the show. It's not about always agreeing. It's about the back and forth. The energy. The chemistry between him and the rest of the crew. You might not agree with Joe, but you appreciate the fact that he's standing on what he believes, no matter how loud or wrong it might sound that day. And even when he's way off base, he does it with such conviction that you start questioning yourself. Like, maybe Joe sees something I don't. Maybe he's tapped into a layer that I'm missing. Or maybe, he's just talking nonsense. But that's what keeps it entertaining. The podcast gives you a space to challenge your own thoughts. Joe's the catalyst, the fire starter.